Good morning from Moscow. It's Sunday, the 9th of August. You know, I've been seeing rather a lot of Vladimir Putin recently, down at the shops. This is the stationery department of my local Moscow bookstore. There he is. He was also spotted in my local supermarket. And newspaper kiosks in Moscow are now selling this. This is the Vladimir Putin 2027 calendar. Can you believe it? It's still the summer, and already you can buy the Putin 2027 calendar. Well, I'll be showing you this in more detail later. First of all, I want to show you a couple of things which I didn't have time to post last week. You may remember that last weekend a bomb exploded in an Italian restaurant in Moscow. That was Saturday night. Sunday morning, we went down to the scene. So this is the Balzi Rossi Italian restaurant in Moscow where the explosion happened. This morning, Russian police removed their cordon around the restaurant. So you can see the details, you can see the signs of that blast. Russia's National Anti-Terrorism Committee said late last night that a woman had tried to get into the restaurant with an improvised explosive device, a bomb, and had been stopped by a security guard shortly after the bomb was detonated. Now, some Russian news outlets today have suggested that that woman may have been a courier who was trying to deliver a parcel or a package to one of the guests inside at a private function, and that the woman may not have known that there was a bomb inside, but there's been no official confirmation of that. We've been talking to people around the building today. Certainly emotions are running high.
Был очень сильный хлопок, очень сильный. Я сразу поняла, что это взрыв, ничего другого. Я живу вот здесь, вот в первом подъезде. Это ужасно.
Я боюсь этих взрывов, я боюсь вообще смертей, всего. И это, наверное, тоже связано с той войной, которая ведется.
Как не посмотришь по телевизору, как вы выступаете с подковырками, или гадости говорите, или нашему президенту такие вопросы гадкие задаете, что просто хочется подойти и врезать вам.
Well, as you can see, emotions are running high outside the restaurant. These people that we've been speaking to taking out their anger on us, accusing Britain of somehow being behind what happened yesterday. Today, Moscow's Mayor Sergei Sobyanin called what happened here a brutal act of terror and said that the perpetrators will be found and punished. There's been very little official information, though, today about the events of Saturday night, but many Muscovites suspect that what happened was connected in some way to Russia's war on Ukraine. Certainly, if you go back the last couple of years, there have been several bomb attacks targeting senior Russian military figures in and around the Russian capital, and Moscow has blamed those on Kiev. Also, in recent days, Ukraine has continued to launch drone strikes on warehouses of the Russian online retailer Wildberries, Russia's equivalent of Amazon. And also, last week, there was a drone attack on an industrial park just to the south of Moscow. At least 5 people were reported killed. We went back onto the streets for reaction. Что сегодня опять были дроновые атаки. Ваша реакция, вот когда вы слышите вот эти...
Моя реакция, что пора заканчивать все. Вот. Надо сесть за стол переговоров, можно круглый, можно квадратный, и сесть и обсудить все. Это не обязательно, чтобы посередине были американцы.
А вы ощущаете больше сейчас, чем, допустим, 2 года назад? Вот если бы я вас... Да?
Конечно. Потому что все это приобрело вселенский масштаб, так скажем. Вот и все. Все это разыгралось в разы больше, чем было это раньше.
Это заставляет тебя думать не о развитии, а о том, с чего ты начнешь завтрашний день, как ты будешь платить зарплаты сотрудникам, расплачиваться с контрагентами и так далее.
Но у вас товар на складах, да?
Да, мы возим товары не с нашего какого-то места, а отвозим их на эти склады, а после чего он уже разъезжается в дальнейшей вот этой логистической цепи. Получается, что в некоторых городах после того, как прилетели туда дроны, у нас сгорело несколько тысяч товаров.
А что вы сможете делать в этой ситуации?
В этой ситуации ты можешь смириться, получить какую-то незначительную компенсацию и работать дальше и думать о том, как вообще работать в этой ситуации, как находить деньги, какие действия предпринимать. Это не вся часть нашего бизнеса, Wildberries. Но, в общем, да, это сильно влияет и большой частью является.
Если включить телевизор, здесь, российское телевидение, они очень ограниченно рассказывают. То есть видео не показывают.
Да. Все равно, так или иначе, до людей это доходит, потому что средства коммуникации другие. И я не могу говорить за всех, но среди моего круга общения мало кто получает новости из телевизора.
А Европа дура. Все руководители как с помойки собраны. Вот и все.
Как вы думаете, чем это все закончится?
Я закончится, что Россия победит.
One thing's clear, I think. The war has become much more real for Russians. It's becoming much harder for people here to pretend that it's not happening or to ignore the consequences. Whether we're talking consequences for consumers because of the disruption to Wildberries, or fuel shortages caused by Ukrainian drone strikes on Russian oil refineries, or the almost everyday drone attacks on Russian towns and cities. But none of this seems to be changing Vladimir Putin's calculations. There is no sign of a change of approach by the Kremlin. There's no sign of any compromise by the Kremlin. Talking of the Kremlin leader, here it is, the first Putin 2027 calendar that I've seen, and it's only the summer. It's complete with Putin quotes that very much reflect the official narrative here. For example, that even though it was Russia that invaded Ukraine, Russia is not the aggressor, that Russia is being threatened by outside forces. So, for example, February's quote, "Threatening Russia is pointless, it only emboldens us." And here, Russia has shown many times, when there is a threat to our security, to the peace and tranquility of our citizens, our sovereignty and their very statehood, we respond quickly. As you'd expect, there are predictions of victory. The October quote, "I believe in our success, our victory, in Russia's future." And right here in a calendar, ruling out a ceasefire in Ukraine, September. We don't need a ceasefire. We need peace, long-term, durable and guaranteed for Russia and its citizens. Well, from the speeches and the statements that is made, by peace, President Putin means peace on his terms. The calendar tries to rally Russians around the flag. April, patriotism is Russia's national idea. May, this is our motherland, the motherland of our forefathers. December, nothing is impossible when the path to your goal is illuminated by love for the fatherland. Another theme here, unity. March, support for centuries-old family values, traditions will continue to unite us. July, we are united in our thoughts, in work and in battle, on weekdays and holidays, showing the most important traits of the Russian people: solidarity, mercy, tenacity. And judging by the final page here, retirement is not something the Kremlin leader is contemplating anytime soon. I don't know about you, but to me, 2027 feels a long way away, let alone 2028. I mean, so much is happening. Well, that's all for today. To end, some music. And I'd like to play for you a 19th century Russian romance song. It's called I Met You. The music was written by Leonid Malashkin. Thank you for watching. Very best wishes and have a good week.